And there's also a lad. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dolo Digs, the live stream. I hope everyone's fine, doing well. How is everyone? This is everyone. This is Poppy.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I waved, Dolores.
That's okay. So there's obviously she's not watching the chat. So I will have to ask her the questions that you put in the chat. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Poppy.
So obviously I'm English, so live in England. I met Dolores through Instagram, which is amazing, through a auction that we both do. So I started off selling vintage clothes, shoes and accessories, although I have branched out and I do sell a bit of homeware when I can. It's a side hustle. My 9 to 5 is that I work in HR. It's deeply boring. The vintage is far more exciting.
So I just want to see that real quick. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Let's see. I see Miss Pamela Blanchard. Hey, Pamela. I see Jessica. I see Jerry from Vintage and Vino. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, we met on Instagram. We had both done an auction recently, like a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Oh, was it Time Flies When You're Having Fun? I think it was longer ago, because the next one is coming up quite soon, isn't it?
Yes, the end of the month. We have another Instagram auction, and it's Charlie's
Vintage Auction.
Charlie's Vintage Auction.
It's Charlie's Vintage Emporium, I think is her tag.
Yeah, well, you'll see him oh, hey, Joanne Johnson. A life like Vera. Hi, thanks for popping in. So we're gonna grill you today, Poppy. No,
okay.
She's like, I'm ready for it.
Bring it on.
But yeah, so we met on an auction, and we just decided to go live one day. She asked me, "You want to go live with me?" I said, "Do you think I'm shy?" No, I'll go live with you. So what made you get started in reselling?
Oh, I guess because I had too much of my own clothing, number one, and number two, because I think, like probably we all have, I enthusiastically bought things thinking that I had a 24-inch waist, which I don't. So yeah, I think that's how I started.
Ooh, story of my lives, honey. So, but you still, I know, I love all the clothes behind you. Oh my God. So you got started by thinking, okay, I have all these items. Wonderful. Oh my God. Pan back real slow. Pan back. We want to see that again.
Okay, we'll go to that. A teddy bear from when I was born, as you do.
Look at all those vintage clothes, you guys. Are you jealous yet?
It's the tip of the iceberg. What you can't see, so this is the better bit. What you can't see is I've behind the phone are boxes, not quite floor to ceiling because I've got high ceilings, but I'm getting there. You know, I've probably got 3 foot left.
Really? Wow. So, but you don't just sell clothes, you sell other items. I noticed the other day you were selling some different items.
I was, yeah. So it's mainly clothes, but yes, I do sell a bit of homeware. I say a bit, quite a lot. And jewelry, and shoes and handbags.
So I mean, it's good though that you're quite diverse in the things you sell. And
yeah, I think, you know, I started getting on for a year, so a year in October. So I suppose I think I'm still trying to find my niche, still trying to find what my customers like. And I'm just a massive magpie. So if I see something and like it, I kind of hope there's someone mad enough to buy it.
Girl, we all are mad enough to buy it. So I have a question from Miss Pamela Blanchard. Poppy, could you show us some of your vintage clothing today, please?
Oh, yes. Is there anything in particular you want to see, or just
Well,
something that I can grab?
uh, someone also asked, what eras in clothing do you have?
Oh, name an era. Pretty
Well, all right,
much.
girl.
So yeah, so I would say I've got some antique pieces, not loads, but I have got some antique pieces. I've been hoarding some 30s and 40s pieces, which are so good. I've got like 30s silk velvet, which is just a dream on your skin. 50s, 60s, fair bit of 70s, and quite a bit of 80s. So I bought a big lot of 80s recently. I'll tell you, this is a funny story. You'll love this, Dolores. So it's kind of funny and bad, but you know, we'll go with it. So in this lot,
yeah.
I had a YSL, you know, Yves Saint Laurent hanger, and I thought, yes, this is the mother load. No, there was a very nice Aquascutum item on it. Still, Aquascutum's a good London brand, and I thought, well, you know, it could be worse. So hung it all up, and then the other day I was looking completely like not for this, but I saw this like fabulous purple jacket, and I thought the quality of that's really good. Like, what label is that? I looked, it's YSL. I was like, yes, motherload, amazing purple YSL jacket. Gets even better. I'm then thinking, no, I've seen that pattern before. I've seen that pattern, I've seen that fabric on a skirt. So I'm then like, and I've got 2 rails. So I'm in the back rail. So I'm wrestling the other rail, and I'm going through it trying to find this skirt, thinking, I've seen this skirt, find this skirt. So I have found in my stock a YSL, I'm trying to see if I can see it, a YSL suit. It's purple, it's amazing. The worst thing about it though, it's like a size 4, US 4 hope. But
someone will buy it.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, so, when I can stop looking at it and when I relinquish it, so I can show you that. Or yeah, if there's something in particular you want to see, you might have to bear with me. You'll see some funny like shaking of the rails like as I go behind them.
Girl, if you could see in that other room right now, it's full of stuff. Do you? Oh, so someone said 50s clothing.
50s clothing. You want to see 50s?
She's gonna be climbing over those rails, y'all, in a minute.
I am. 50s clothing. I am gonna have to. Oh God. I think. Hang on. God, I've got a. Oh no, I haven't. No, you thought you foxed me, whoever that was. No.
That was Claudia Patterson.
Here's one. I think it's 50s anyway. 50s or 60s. So you'll have to bear with me because I haven't properly processed this. So this.
Oh.
Is a really sweet little tennis skirt. I'll show you the label. I love a vintage label.
Yep.
There we are.
Yep.
You can see that one. So it's Lunas at Lily White's. So Lily White's is I think it's still going. It's not as prestigious, but it was a really prestigious sports department store in England.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Lily White's. I've got a vintage pair of blue shorts that are also 50s somewhere. I don't think I can get to them. So yeah, I started planning for, I haven't dropped it yet, a sort of croquet type 50s and 60s sportswear, and that is one of them that is waiting to be claimed.
That would be so cute. Pamela Blanchard wants to know, do you do vintage children's clothing, or is it just grown clothing?
It's adults at the moment, but you know, so not me, but the collective we, my family, are expecting the first baby within the family group, and you know, so I've started buying not maternity per se, but clothing that would work for maternity for my Relly. Right. And I am very tempted to start looking at children's wear. I did see the cutest little sweatshirt today when I was because I'm basically constantly sourcing when I was looking for women's wear. So I think watch this space. Probably I sell most other things.
And do you have any Victorian pieces of clothing?
Yes, so I've got a night dress, just trying to look if I can see it, and then I'm playing a bit fast and loose with Victorian, but I've also got this amazing tennis skirt. I've never seen an Edwardian tennis skirt, so I just thought I had to buy it. And some 20s. Do you want me to try and
Oh,
find it? It's in the back rail.
that's girl. I would love to see that. So,
Right, hold this thought. You'll see the rails
okay,
rocking. Seconds.
okay. If those rails fall down on her, we'll get you some help. You know that is all of us in our house right now trying to find something. I'm not even laughing at her because I know what that feels like. Maybe not with clothing, but with other stuff. So good. We can all admire her clothing while she's gone. Yeah, you guys keep putting in questions, and if you want to know anything about Poppy, I can't remember. She lives by Stonehenge. Is it Wiltshire? I don't know. She'll tell us when she comes back. It's nowhere near where I live. I know England is small, but we don't live close, which is a shame, really.
She's back.
She's back. Look at she got clothes too, y'all.
She's back with clothes. Yeah. So I think we were talking 50s, weren't we? Sorry, I'm going back. This is 50s, and it's American. So I don't know if anybody in the States has this or understands this, but certainly in the UK, or like me and some of the people that I talk to, are just massively envious of anybody who lives in the States from a thrifting perspective and from a vintage perspective. So if I come across a US brand or something that's union made, I'm like, yes. So I came across this in a charity shop in England, and I don't think it's been worn. It's got the coolest label. It's got my favorite, made in the USA.
Is that like a Hawaiian shirt?
It's a house coat or a house dress with pockets.
Oh, well, you know, anything with pockets. What brand is it?
Oh, so it meant nothing to me, but let's see, you're going to be like, oh, girl, I know that one. It is, Heidi Lynn Casuals of California.
Girl from Texas, I don't know.
So that's that one. This is
muumuu.
the tennis.
Yes, we would call that a muumuu.
A muumuu. Tell me more about muumuu. Mumai.
That flower dress that you just held up. The house coat. We would say
which
muumuu.
is amazing, isn't it? So this is the tennis skirt. So I haven't ironed it or anything yet. So just bear with me. But check out the structure. Can you see
Oh my God, look how it goes out like that.
Crazy.
And that's a Victorian tennis skirt?
This is, I think it's 30s.
30s.
But it's
okay.
Yeah. I'm doing a really bad job of showing this. Why can't I get it into
camera? Can you imagine how long those skirts were when they were playing tennis?
I know it is. So I'm 5'8", and it'd be getting on for floor length on me. Yeah.
Girl,
I loved this detail. I thought it was so structural. Very sort of like it's a Miyake.
Yeah.
So I just saw it and fell in love with it. And then I've got a whole load of vintage lingerie. So
y'all lingerie.
Oh yeah, she's
getting out now. It's after 9.
Got to girl. Oh, I know. Don't believe anything you hear about the English. All filthy, all of us. So this is very demure. This is French 1920 silk. I mean,
that's pretty,
isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah, and then I've got. So these are all old, again, kind of Victorian or of a period lacy bits. So skirts. Can't even remember what this is. Is this this is a dress.
Oh, it's very sheer.
Like a kind of caftan.
Oh, we love a good caftan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a caftan. And then can you see it? It's got two. Doing a really bad job showing this. Two big slits on either side for you to put ribbon through. So if you
Oh,
weren't tiny enough wearing this, you
I
could
thought it was
could
something else.
gather it even more.
So
Yeah, and that's all old silk.
So the tennis skirt, Pamela Blanchard wants to know how much would that tennis skirt cost, or how much did she pay for it, or how much is she gonna sell it for? Pamela, is that what you're asking? Because she's thinking about picking up some clothing in the States, because she's in the States, and she's thinking about picking some clothing up, maybe to get into the clothing side of things.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, lovely. No.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, I mean, I would say do it, but it does become a bit of an obsession. The tennis skirt. So I had never seen one. So not that I am a particular specialist in antique clothing, but I just thought it was the shape was amazing. I bought it from an auction. My mum's friend works there, so I know it's a really good auctioneers, and one of the owners kind of specializes in textiles, so I know that the quality of the pieces is good. Do I want to disclose how much I paid? Go on then. So
no,
I paid.
We don't mind here. We're pretty much.
So I paid. Yeah, I paid £30, and then I don't know if it works the same in the States, but in the UK you pay auction costs on top of that. So yes, I think I paid about 20% on top of that. So probably, let's say £35, which is $70, $75.
No. Oh no, it wouldn't be that much. £30 would be probably about 40, 45 tops.
Okay.
Yeah.
So $45. In terms of resale, it depends. That's got a really small waist. And I need to check out the condition. So I noticed there are a couple of marks on it. So I've got to work out how to wash it and be brave enough to wash it. And then it becomes kind of selling it. So if the condition is good, then you're potentially tapping into, number one, someone who could wear it, or number two, somebody who's just a collector of old clothing. Right. And so, yeah, the condition is really important. I'm hoping the condition on that is good, and it looks pretty good. So I would, yeah, so I try to times whatever I bought it by 3. So I bought that for 35. So I'd be looking to try and get about £100 for it. So that's $125, $130.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I try and work by multiplying by 3. Although it depends. Right. If I've held on to something for a while, and if it's just not selling, I'll knock it down and down. Because I think particularly if space is a premium, I'm lucky that I've got this bedroom that I've taken over. I say lucky. My other half didn't really have a lot of choice. But I'm very I'm very, very stock heavy at the moment. So some of my pricing is probably a bit more aggressive than it would be. So I've got a ton of cool 80s jackets at the moment, like this one.
That's here's the thing about the 80s jackets. Now, I don't know if you saw the interview I did with Lady Peacock. So Lady Peacock has a vintage clothing store here in where I live. She says the hardest thing for her to find right now is 80s jackets like that, because they are hot.
Are they? Nobody's buying them from me.
She said that's that's the next thing coming up. She said we asked her in a live chat last time, what is the next big thing? And she said 80s. And she said she can't find 80s jackets for love nor money.
Right, okay, then I need to stop selling them so cheap.
Right. So you all need to talk. I'll put you in touch with Lady Peacock. You guys got to meet now.
Yeah, so I've got loads of 80s suits, loads of cool jackets, in all sorts of fabrics. This one's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's cute. That's very.
I know, and the color is actually even more green than it's showing, but I mean, it's so cute.
So real quick, I just wanted to say hi to a few people. Hey, Barbie. Hey, Pamela 13, Chicago lady. Thanks, guys, for stopping by and checking out me and Poppy here. Um, tell Poppy, let me tell you, Miss Pamela Blanchard wants me to tell you there's a product she uses on her vintage linens and lingerie. It's called Retro Clean, and it's on
Retro
Amazon.
Clean.
And she thinks it would
Retro
be safe
Clean.
for your skirt.
Oh, thank you. Retro Clean. I'm going to look at that.
Retro Clean, yeah.
Thank you.
So that girl, it does remind me of Dallas. Like, I'm waiting for JR to come out. And girl, did someone shoot him? No, I'm just kidding.
I've got, so the YSL suit's quite dynasty, and then I've got a dress that's got feathers on the cuffs, and that's very sort of,
What size is that?
Jazz hands. Sorry? What size?
What size is that dress?
I don't know. 2 seconds. Do you want me to try and find it? I can see it.
Yeah. I mean, if it fits me, I want the feathered sleeves. Oh, there's also, she just, okay. If that thing falls over, y'all, I swear to God, we're going to have to call the police. We're going to have to call the police to get her out from under those clothes.
So.
Oh.
I think, again, the person I got this from is quite small. So I think it's quite small.
But it can fit me.
But that is the sleeve.
Oh, that's too much. So that must be from like the 70s.
Yeah, this is 70s. Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. With a pair of big old glitter platforms, you'd be ready to go out.
You would, and it is blooming long.
Miss Pamela also said there's a product called Restoration, also on Amazon. So
Restoration.
The first one was Retro Clean. The second was Restoration. Oh, she wants to know. Okay, Jerry from Vintage and Vino wants to know if you know. Vintage and Vino wants to know if you know what the word bougie means.
Bougie. So I am not a very slangy person. So I think bougie is quite isn't it quite sort of OTT glam is how I describe it. Is that right?
To be fancy, but you ain't.
Oh right, that's bougie, is it? Oh right, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna wear that dress that you just had while cleaning my trailer in the trailer park.
While cleaning, did you say while cleaning your trailer at the trailer park?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I'm not a particularly bougie girl, as you'll see with like my kind of hippie dippy dress on.
Oh, I'm very bougie. I will be cleaning my trailer later. So.
No, you haven't got a trailer, my lovely. No, I think you're glamorous. I don't think you're bougie. I think you're glam. There's a difference, my darling. Glam, not bougie. Well, you're not bougie, Dolores.
I'm not saying I'm mad at bougie. I own it. If I'm not mad about the bougie. I'm just saying, I'm probably bougie glam. So okay, so bougie glam. Hi, Trisha, Sandy and Otto. Thanks for stopping by. What platforms do you sell on?
So at the moment I just sell on Instagram. I played around with Depop a bit. Right. And I just, it's not me. A lot of it is kind of 80s and 90s, and yes, I do sell a bit of 80s, but it's just not working for me. If I can get my little butt in gear, I'm going to start selling on Vinted. So I don't. It's really popular in England. I don't know if is it a US app? Sorry, Granny here.
I don't know if I know what it is because obviously I live here, but I don't know. Do you guys have Vinted in the States? I don't know. I've seen it advertised though. Yeah, that would be a good place to start selling. And here's the thing: it's so hard because I know you work full time. I know you work full time, and it is a struggle to work full time and to also do the reselling. And then you have, because when you do a platform like Vinted or Depop, you have to take the photographs, do the measurements, list it, so it is, it would be great if we could all do this full time. I mean, I actually like my job. So I don't know if I want to give that up. But so
yeah, I mean, I like parts of my job. But I've got to say, I love my side hustle. Yeah, but you're right, it's a lot of work. And I suppose going back to the lovely lady who asked about resale, you know, that's the other thing I would say, that it's great, but it's a lot to sign up to. And you know, I'm still trying to build my profile on Instagram, and I still remember like the first time I was listing things for sale, and like you get a handful of likes and then nothing. You know, and I still do fairs where I don't sell anything, and then you know, my much more experienced peers are selling out. And you know, so you do have to be really resilient and kind of brush it off. Because of your lovely self, I've started to live sell on Instagram. I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't done the live with you. And they're, you know, they're great fun. I love them. But again, like they laugh at me, like other vintage sellers now, because I'll do like 4 hours, because if you've got your phone, I don't wear a watch. Right. So I just keep going. And if I've got a rail, like this rail is about six foot long, it's a big old rail to get through. And then when people are asking for other stuff, and I do like I've done, I dive behind the rail. Yeah, I was there for 4 hours, and people were like, how'd you do it? And I was like, well, you know, I'm here, it's the weekend, like people are chatting, we'll just go.
Exactly. I would like to do a live sale with you on Instagram.
You'd like to do a live sale with me? Yeah.
Yep, I sure would.
Well up for that.
We should do it.
Well,
after the auction.
Yes.
For sure.
Are we gonna have a theme?
You can pick the theme.
I think we need to get some bouginess in that. I'm gonna have to find my bougiest dress for you. And jewelry.
We'll have to dress bougie as well.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Pamela, for stopping by. I appreciate it. And thanks for the tips for Poppy. Wow.
Yeah,
now she's gonna go on Amazon and look them up.
I am. So there's gonna be no stock.
She's gonna clean it all, Miss Pamela. So a couple more people came in. I saw Trisha from Sandy and Otto. Hey, Tammy Renee Walker, Beth, Carolina Princess, Sweet Treats and Pretties. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I know you have a busy day today. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm coughing. So yeah, you're gonna do vintage. You're thinking about, you know, and it's hard. It's hard to do all these things, even if you do reselling full time. It is a lot to take on. A lot of these people in here are either full time or part time resellers. They get it. You know, they understand the struggle. And I've seen a lot of your Instagram, and it's really good. And you just it's just persevering. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry?
It's persevering, keeping.
Oh, yes.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, I've learned to kind of, I don't know, I'm not on social media very much. And I've learned to kind of put my face out a bit more, and also to not take it too seriously. Like, you know, not all of my posts are perfect. And, you know, I now just kind of go, do you know what, go with it. If you like what I do, if you want to join the crazy, follow me. If you don't, that's cool. There'll be another person who you'll gel with better, you know, and that's cool. You know, and I've left photos from when I started that are very different, so like flat lays from what I'm doing, and I like looking back and kind of going, God, I was really excited about that photo, like it looked really good, and then like, but look at my photos now and kind of look what I'm playing around with. And I like to see that, and I'm kind of a bit like, do you know what, sod all of you if you like it or not. I'm looking at my page and I'm going, good on you.
You're right, and that's the good thing about keeping your other photos up, because you can see how you've progressed. You know what I mean? And it's good. We all got to start somewhere. And
100%.
And yeah, well, Carolina Princess says, honey, we're all crazy. So there you go.
So I have checked out, I've done a bit of Insta stalking, and Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties has such a lovely accent. She's such a sweetheart. I was watching, I think I went onto her YouTubes to look at some of her lives, because I can't remember if she was one of the ladies you recommended, but I did watch her, and I was like, oh, she's got the most lovely accent, the most lovely voice.
Oh my God, she's gonna see now. She's gonna be out of control now. Thanks for that. No, just kidding. No, she's actually really lovely. A few more people popped in. So go ahead. She is lovely.
I was just gonna say she seems so charming. She seems so charming.
She is. You love her. When she comes over here and becomes Lady Peacock's best friend, she'll come over here and become your best friend too. So
thank you. I love that. You're like pimping out your friends. My best friend.
So a couple more people stopped in. Hey, Empty Nest and AK Maria. I said, Tony, hey, Tony girl. Tony's accent is just like mine. That is true story. Gabriel Lynch, hello. So what do you see for yourself in the future for real? I know you touched on doing vintage. You're doing the Instagram sale. We do the auctions, obviously. What do you see for yourself going forward in reselling? Like, what would you like to achieve, or what's like the next big thing for Poppy?
So I'm toying with a couple of things actually. So I'm toying with, it's quite controversial, and my other half's really keen on this, and you'll understand why, because it takes up less room. So I'm toying with tailing down the clothes, but obviously it's going to take a while. And focusing on handbags and jewelry, and maybe shoes, or
more room.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'm toying with moving into kind of customization. So I don't know, and I'm sure again a lot of the resellers are the same, that you buy something and I sometimes buy blind. So like I'll buy on an auction, or I'll buy on eBay, for example, and I'll have stuff like even shipped from the States, because I told you about my obsession with vintage from the US and the US brand. So I will quite often get things shipped and wait with bated breath for them to arrive. And you know, not always what you see in the pictures is what you get, and particularly if you buy if you buy a bulk lot. And you know, I think for me it's about, you know, and I know a lot of people talk about sustainability, and I was somebody that, like, if there was one tiny imperfection with an item of clothing, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't wear it. And you know, I've done a complete U-turn really. And so for me it's about looking at the items that I've got, and if I've made that commitment to buy it, looking at how I can get it in the best position to sell it. So I'm toying with doing some kind of customization. So particularly like I love tweed jackets, so I got hold of some beautiful tweed jackets. So they're like 40s 50s tweed jackets, but some of them have got moth holes, and I really like the idea of doing something a bit a bit Alexander McQueen, or why can't I think of her name? Who's the lady that does a lot of tweed? Why can't I think of her name? Really like punk rock. Oh God, Vivienne Westwood.
Yes, Vivienne Westwood. I like the idea. You know, like some fun in fact, I know this guy who makes the greatest patches. I'll hook you up. He does. He embroiders the best patches. I just met him on Saturday, and girl, we'll talk later. But
I need his details. See, I'm thinking studs, and so to kind of take something that obviously from the 40s that's very kind of prim and proper and make it a bit edgy. So you know, that I'm toying with, and also I love a bit of hand embroidery. So I am toying with embroidering things. So I've got, I don't know if I can find them. I've got some shirts that are just not selling, and they're okay. Can't find them. They're okay. I shouldn't be saying that, should I? I should be like, they're the best thing ever. They're okay, and I'm looking at them and they're not selling. And I'm kind of thinking,
this is real talk amongst resellers. We know, we understand.
Yeah. And I bought them, and they're home sewn. They're kind of 70s or 80s. They're nice, but I kind of look at them and they're not grabbing me, and so I'm kind of going, why are they going to grab somebody else? But I think they've got little breast
pizzazz.
Yeah, and they've got breast pockets. So I'm like, hand embroidery. So I'm going to hand embroider them. Don't know what's going to go on them yet, and that'll be my kind of test really. A couple of those bits. So a couple of jackets that I've got maybe some moth holes, and customizing them and kind of see how they go. And for me, experiment.
I love that idea. I love anything that's been redone or reutilized in a more like modern, edgy way. I know I wouldn't take a perfectly good vintage coat and do that, but you have something that's still good. It just has a small flaw or has a couple of small flaws, and you can change the entire look at that thing. Wow. I do. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she needs to go to the bench. Yeah. That's an amazing,
And
I'm so proud of you, Poppy. I love that idea.
thanks. Yeah, and I think, you know, you touched on that I, you know, I know some people buy vintage and they customize it, and that's cool. For me, my first thing is, can I restore it? So can I get it back to, you know, the way it was, or as kind of good as it was? But particularly where you've got something that's got quite a lot of scattered moth holes, that can be very difficult. So, you know, yes, you can do visible darns, which is cute. But I thought about doing a twist on it. So you're absolutely right. Like you know, I'm not going to start going crazy. So I'm not going to start customizing the YSL suit, for example. That will that will stay as is. And yeah, my first kind of priority is to try and restore things. So I'm very lucky. I've got a lady who does restorations for me if it's something that's kind of above my competence, or something that is like scary old and I just don't want to touch it, and I want it to have you know, a real pro job. And then anything else, not that I'm saying I can't do a pro job, but more simple fixes, yeah, I do myself.
I love it. Here's the reason, because you're right about sustainability. We don't, you know, at this, you know, we could get all into that whole debate, but it is about sustainability, and it's like something that's nice that you can still have that vintage piece, but with it altered a little bit, and it's still being usable. And I love that idea. I think that's a great idea, Poppy. I really do.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see. I'm gonna be the first one to see it.
Thank you. Oh, and I forgot to say, I need to finish this. I'm halfway through. So I bought, and the kind of part of the way this started is I bought a ceramic lot, and I bought it. So I should say I'm not a ceramics expert. I bought it for one vase and didn't realise that it was all broken. Oh. So I'd committed. I'd won this item. Was like, yeah, I've got it, and then was like, I won't use some Anglo-Saxon expletives. I'm going, you know, what do I do with this? And I'm like, I am not ceramics. I don't know anything about ceramics. I've never fixed ceramics. So, you know, some Googling, and I'm thinking, what the hell can I do with this stuff? So quite a lot of Googling later, I'm like, right, I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but you know, the Japanese art where you paint it gold. I'm obviously not a master, and I'm not professing to be. And to do it properly, it takes years and years of training. However, I did find a cheats guide with some epoxy resin and some liquid gold leaf. So and it took hours. So while watching the telly with a cotton bud and a Q-tip. A Q-tip, I think that's I'm translating. Q-tip. Time with the kids. And some acetone. I know, don't. I know, I'm so cringy. And acetone. And literally, I'm rubbing the corners because it had been really badly glued to take the glue off, and then epoxy resin it, and then I'm going to gold leaf it. And I've got a box of ceramics. So I said that for like not last Charlie's auction, the one before, I would do it. Like I didn't tell anybody. I just told myself. And I've re-glued the pieces, but I haven't actually put the gold on yet. So I need to do that. So again, that'll be another thing. So you'll see, I buy this stuff that I haven't got any experience of, and I'm like, right, let's go.
Well, look, you're making it better. If it's been broken, you're taking what you have and make, do, and mend.
Yeah,
that's
you know, 100%.
But you're not just making, doing, and mending. You're making it look fabulous, and that's a great, because otherwise it would end up, you don't. Hey, I have every faith in you, Poppy, but otherwise it's going to end up in a landfill. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the you know, the vase that I fell in love with it's just too pretty. You know, it's just too pretty to go to landfill. And what's quite nice is the crack. It was quite a big piece that came out, a big triangular piece, and then it kind of fractured on the point. So I think you're going to get a really nice chunk of gold showing. And it's kind of yellowy, orangey, green tones. So the gold is going to look amazing on it. So she says when I finish it, and you know, and I'll just keep repeating it with the acetone until it's the way I want it to look.
That's a good thing about acetone. It'll take it right off.
Just keep pouring it on.
Yeah, till get it right. Well, that's you say that. I make repurposed necklaces out of broken brooches.
Do you? They're out of broken brooches. Oh.
Yeah. So if I get a brooch that has like, sometimes you get brooches and you can tell someone's repaired it and put like a different color rhinestone in. You're like, really? You couldn't find the right color rhinestone, or
Just
the clasp on the back is broken, or there's a piece missing off of it. But all this, I will take those and I get like this. It's like a metal color, so it's like a half moon, and I
yes
the broken. I put the broken brooches on them, like pile them almost, so they're all like. I mean, I don't have any right now because I've sold them all. In fact, Beth, Christine brought one. Christine, Side Street Market bought one from me.
I wanna go on the email list. So when you've got more broken brooches, slip me a DM. I want to put my name down for one of those. They sound amazing.
They're fun. One, they're fun to make. Two, they're such nice pieces. It's just that either the back's broken or it's got like the wrong rhinestone in it. And I'm not in the business of repairing brooches, but I will to a degree. But unless you're really good at it, you can see the repair. And I figure,
yeah, and also at the end of the day, we're resellers. We're trying to make a profit. So the other thing is you've got to think about the cost benefit. So how much is it going to cost in terms of my time and my energy to repair it, and what am I going to get for it? And actually, if that doesn't stack up, then it's got to earn its keep another way.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I also, because all the brooches are together, any flaws are covered with the brooch next to it, so you don't really. All you just see is this wonderful sparkle vintage collar. Yeah. And I make jewelry anyway, but I wanted to incorporate my jewelry with the sun's in my eyes, Jesus. I wanted to make. I was like, ugh, not the light. Don't go into the light, But
I'm not ready.
I know I ain't ready, Lord. Hang on a minute, I'm talking.
You haven't heard about my sins from when I was
younger. But I make my own jewelry, and I wanted to incorporate the vintage side of what I do with the handmade jewelry side, and I'm married the two. And like you said, I'm repurposing things that would probably have been thrown away.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is a shame because they're so pretty, and once these things are gone, they're gone. You're never gonna find these great pieces if they're gone. And this is why people love vintage.
Yeah. And the quality is just, from an economical perspective, you can buy something that, and I don't mean that in a judgmental way, but I just mean some things you cannot buy, either because the skill doesn't exist or because it would be so expensive that it's it just wouldn't be economically viable for most people. And you can get things that are super quality, but even on a more modest budget, you can still get things like I love 50s, 60s, 70s homemade pieces, because the quality of home sewing, lots of people knew how to home sew and they knew how to home sew very well, and so the quality of the items is brilliant. And also you've got the added kick that it's a one-off,
that's it,
that they've maybe made the pattern themselves, or the pattern fabric combination is, I say one-off, like it's so unlikely that it will have survived, another one will have survived this long. And that are just, again, the whole, if you're going out, you don't want to turn up wearing the same thing as somebody else. But if you buy vintage, it's great quality. You know that you're not going to turn up in the same thing as anybody else.
And it's lasted this long, so it's quality.
Yeah. And if you've bought from me, it's gone through my washing process and still survived.
It's been in that pile back behind you, and it survived.
This is on rails, but then there are piles. So I didn't even say, oh my God, the lady that asked about 50s, I'm such a dunce. I've got a 50s Dior ball gown I could have showed her, and I've just remembered. This is where, you know, like when I said I've got too much stock, when I forget and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that piece.
Oh, I'm the same way. Jazdia just stopped in. Hey, Jazdia, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it is not necessarily just. Oh, here's a question for you. Where do you source? Do you source all different places, or do you just?
Yeah, so I source in all different places. There are that I don't use. There are like wholesalers where you can either hand pick or you can buy bales. And
right.
I think if I'm honest, that probably would be a more profitable way to do it. And you know, you can hand pick. I don't, so I source it all myself, so nobody else sources for me. I'm kind of constantly sourcing, so online, charity shops, boot sales, friends and family. You know, I'm kind of constantly sourcing, really. You know, but everything is hand picked by me. Everything is like hand processed. So again, you know, when I talk about if there's a defect, like, you know, I'm probably the world's worst salesperson, because I am really particular, and so in my descriptions you will see I'm talking about like sort of things that are relatively minor, but I want everybody who, like, if anybody buys something from me, I want them to know exactly what they're getting, and I want them to be delighted with it. You know, there's nothing worse than when you buy online and like it's been pinned and you didn't realize, or like the fabric, you know, they've described it as silk and you get it and you're like, well, this is obviously polyester. Yeah, you know, or it's got holes in or whatever. So, you know, I know it sounds bad, but I would rather not sell it than sell it to somebody who's not happy. So yeah, you know, everything is handpicked. I've also actually I've made some really good contacts recently. So there's a lady who owns a dress agency and she sells modern and vintage. And I met her and she had some really cool vintage. I don't know if I can show it to you. It's this insane 60s handmade silk dress. Shall I try and find it? Let me show you. And she, like, her store is amazing, and she has basically said that if she gets cool vintage in, she will basically give me first dibs on it and she'll give me a trade price, and I can sell it. So that was really cool. I got loads from her, and she's just like, she's the sweetest lady. She has the coolest stock, and where she sells, it's quite like it's an area where a lot of retired people live. So like, so it's actually great for vintage, you know, for vintage clothing, but she really struggles to sell it because although she gets the clients bringing things in, obviously their peers aren't necessarily looking for like a vintage ball gown. Whereas I come in, crazy people like me come in and like look around the shop and go, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, this is so cool. That's so cool. Can I have this? Can I have that? So yes, that's really cool. So everywhere really is where I source.
So I mean, I find well, during the lockdown, which one? All of them. We were sourcing on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, but Facebook Marketplace was fine. It was absolutely fine, but there's nothing like going out and finding it yourself. You know, like going and hunting, and looking, and digging through, and finding that you pull it up, and you're like, this is it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I found it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of what I buy, I source blind. I do. And one of my seller friends, she's a lot more experienced than I am. She's got like 12,000 followers. She's like, how can you source blind? She's like, I don't buy anything without seeing it now. And I'm like, well, partly for me, it's time. I don't have the time to source. And partly, I guess, maybe I'm just a bit of a maverick. And you take a risk, and I'm trying to think. Most of the time, it's paid off. What did I did buy one lot, which was an absolute like honker. I way overpaid for it, and I knew a couple of the pieces were modern, and one piece I'd banked on not being modern. And this is where, like, you need to know your stuff. I didn't know this designer very well. They'd done a collaboration with Marks and Spencer's. in the 90s. So I'd paid a lot for this one item. And then it turned out to be modern, and I think I sold it for the princely sum of 99p.
Well, I mean, I think that we have a saying in the, there's a saying in the vintage community that you pay to learn.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to pay to learn.
Yeah, that was an expensive lesson.
That was
Yeah. But I mean, so one of the items was cool. One of the items was a 60s Susan, or 60s 70s Susan Small cover up. So I haven't sold it yet. So that is either where I'm gonna like recoup some of my losses, or it's gonna be, an absolute humdinger. But as you say, you live and you learn. But I'd say I've had more successes and opened things and gone like, than failures. So and it's fun because I go through that panic of like, if I bought something that I don't think is very good, I'm like, oh my god, what am I going to do? Oh no, and then you kind of think, right, come on, you've got to make this work. And eventually something cool will come out of it, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, just your friend Carolina Princess Sweet Treats Are Pretty, she's at Goodwill right now hunting.
Stop it. We're going to ban you from the chat if you keep taunting us. I take my shopping very seriously. Look, serious face on. I'm not even smiling. Don't taunt me with your thrift stores. Don't taunt me with your thrift stores. We don't have thrift stores. Look, the neck's even going now. Don't taunt me with your thrift stores. This face is not impressed.
You have to go one day and go to the. I'm sure you can stay with your best friend here. She'll let you stay at her house. In Texas.
Yeah, I mean, the only you can talk to me about Goodwill if you're going to source for me. That's cool. If not, no.
There you go, Beth. Get her some things. Pick some things up for Beth. Yeah. Jesus.
What is this madness?
I love Goodwill. I mean. Well, we have thrift stores. I know it's not the same as Goodwill. Here's a difference between our thrift store. We talked about this with Jessica on her when she was on. That Goodwill will have days where it's like blue tag is 50% off or yellow tag is 70% off. Here at our charity shops, oh, y'all ain't getting no discount.
Oh yeah,
true, though?
That's quite an English thing, isn't it? Yes, no. The price is the price. So some of them have sales, but the price is the price. Yeah, as you say, like, and don't, if it's got a button missing or a ripped seam, don't think about trying to negotiate for discount. That is the price.
They're like, don't come in here and play with me. It's that much. That's exactly what
I think they'd guilt trip you. They'd be like, yeah, but it's for charity. Like, what's wrong with you?
I know. It's like, give it to me for less. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
for shame.
I do a lot of homewares, and that'd be all cracked to hell. And I'm like, is there any money off this? No, the price is the price. Okay, well, you're gonna be sitting on that a while then.
You ask, and you're in the Midlands too. And I think people get more honest as you go further up the country. So yeah, you've got some stones to do that.
Well, I mean, if it's all busted, I mean, you go. Here's the thing that I found out from somebody who a lot of thrift stores will keep their stock for 2 weeks and then move it through.
Yep.
2 to 3 weeks in a charity shop, and they move it through. A lot of times it goes. Well, now if I hang on, I'll go to because there's actually a charity clearance center by my house. So there's a charity shop that is the clearance center for all its other charity shops. Girl, yes.
Amazing.
So we do go there. Vintage and Vino, are Americans bigger throwaway people than other places? I think So Vintage and Vino asked, are we Americans bigger throwaway people than other places? I think we're a throwaway society too in the UK.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I wouldn't just say it's the US. I would say it's like all of the Western countries and continents.
Correct.
Maybe not so much the Scandinavian countries, because they're like they're fabulous, but they're all show offs, aren't they? They've been, you know, recycling their own poo for 20 years. So just, you know, bit of bitterness there. So yeah, I'd say probably with the exception of some of the Scandinavian countries, that that the Western countries are big throwaway countries. But I was talking to my brother's wife, so she they met when he was working in India. So she's from India. She moved to England to be with him, and it was like the second time she'd ever left India. And there's a really interesting culture in India, again tied with sort of wealth and status. So I was asking her about vintage clothing, and I said, you know, like what, like, she's lovely and I can talk to her really openly, like what happens to someone's clothes when they die? And she was like, well, they just it wasn't like hi beauty, where do people's dead clothes go?
Yeah, bring them to me.
Yeah, no, I mean that was where I was going with the conversation. I said, you know, what's the what's you know, what's society kind of like? And she said, no, you know, they don't get kept because there's a sort of, you know, a maybe a bit of a fear around that, and also it's a real status thing, you know, that you don't wear something used. So, you know, they would get donated, but they would be donated to somebody of lower caste, or they'd be thrown away. And so, like you, I went, no, give me the names and address.
I have no problem wearing, you know, having some good people's clothes. Go ahead, bring them over.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
It's not that it's superstitious. It's just that that's their belief system. It's not like, oh, you're superstitious. That's what they believe. Yeah.
But I was like, okay, give me the names and addresses. I'll do that. You know, I'm really sorry for your loss. No, tell me what you're going to do with the clothes. No, I didn't.
Can I have them clothes? Can I have them saris?
Just, can you imagine as I'm out there, like, this person looks old, I'm just going to measure them up, size them.
You're about the right size. I'll take them.
That's not how I source.
Yeah, I just follow people around until they die and they take their clothes.
Yeah, so we'll go back to that sourcing question. So so I stalk people. I find people that look like old and infirm, measure them, and then wait until they die. That's how I stalk. Sorry,
just measure them up, Beth. That's right.
Sorry, like, you've caught me after a work day, and after a work day I get a bit impish. Sorry.
It's okay.
You wouldn't believe what
you after work.
I was going to say, you wouldn't believe what I do for a job, right? With the things that come out of my mouth.
She's like, I'm a funeral director. No.
Me? Maybe I should be.
Then you could ask. Then you could go straight to the source. You're like, okay, I'm sorry for your loss. They got any clothes I can have?
Yeah, like so what we need, madam, is we need the entire wardrobe brought down, because we need to see what's going to work best. I will help you with what looks best on your dead loved one, but we need the whole wardrobe. Yeah, so just shoes, handbags, everything. Come on now, come on. Do you want them to look their best or not?
I need to see the housewares just cause.
Yeah, can you imagine? You're like, yeah, but we're having a closed casket. Are you going to disrespect your loved one like that just because it's a closed casket? Come on now. I wouldn't.
That's girl crazy.
I mean, if HR doesn't work out, these are solid career choices for me, though, Dolores. Thank you.
Right, they are. I mean, hey, if HR didn't work out for you, there you go. So, all right, we're coming up to the top of the hour. Poppy, thank you so much for stopping by on Dolo Digs. Man, everybody, I think everybody enjoyed you. I enjoyed you, obviously. And I appreciate all you guys stopping by, and everybody thinks you're adorable because you know, even though if you want chasing dead people, you're adorable.
I was going to say, so you even dropping stalking in, and I'm adorable. I mean, yes. either I've redeemed myself with everything else, or the bar was set quite low. But regardless, I'm going to take it. I will take adorable. Thank you. I'm not too proud. I'm not too proud to take it.
She's gonna take it. All right. Okay, you stay on when I come off here. You stay there. Don't go nowhere. All right, guys, I am going to end this here. I appreciate you so much. Hey, you guys, and Poppy's Instagram is in the description. Let me just make sure. Hang on.
Thank
Poppy's
you so much
Instagram
for
is
all
in
your
the
questions.
description. So y'all go give her a follow. And I appreciate
Yeah, there's plenty of madness if you like the madness.
Go on and follow her. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. You got a great Monday afternoon or evening or wherever you are. Have a great day. Thanks so much. See you guys later. Bye.